Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be having an update on the tropics here. We got what's now Tropical Depression 11 in the Atlantic, and also the Eastern Pacific is still looking to be very busy here. And I'm going to tell you guys why the Eastern Pacific is busy than the Atlantic here in just a moment. But let's go ahead and talk about Tropical Depression 11, which I'm pretty sure that's what everyone's going to be concerned about, is Tropical Depression 11. So right now it's at 35 miles per hour. It's moving west at 14 miles per hour. Eventually, that will start to have a more of a northern turn to it. Probably just going to be missing the Lesser Antilles in Puerto Rico. And there's a chance this here is going to be becoming more of a fish storm here. At least the chances are starting to become a little higher for it, which is some good news there. Although there'll be one island in particular that can have a threat to this, or if that's the scenario, which we'll be talking about that in a moment. But this is the latest National Hurricane Center's forecast there. You can see here, part of the coast does get to portions of the northern Lesser Antilles there, but I think more of the center might miss, more than likely probably miss it to the north at this point. Although, you can see here, we do expect this to become a tropical storm some point today here. And it'll be reaching max wind speeds of 60 miles per hour. However, it'll be getting into a less favorable environment, which is moderate to high amounts of wind shear, and that's what's going to really die down the storm and maybe potentially kill it as well. So that'll be something to really keep an eye on. Really, the most unfavorable environment is really when it passes to the north of Lesser Antilles and beyond. But right now, really in portion of this cone here, the uh, the environment is favorable at this point. So yeah, it will have time to intensify, although I don't think it won't quite get to hurricane strength, though, which is some good news there. So we now have hurricane models on tropical tippets here. So let's take a look at those hurricane models. So you can see here we got a pretty decent agreement here with that northern turn, and pretty much none of the models hit the Lesser Antilles, which is pretty good news there, at least for the center here. Seems like most of the models is going to bring it a little bit more to the north here, something like this here. These two here looks to be a little bit more of outliers, but we're going to see the trends on that, see if they kind of go around the Bermuda High, which the Bermuda High is the high pressure system that turns pretty much most of your activity, tropical activity. And it looks like since it's going to be weaker, it doesn't look like there'll be a threat to the United States at this point, which is some good news. However, I do see a potential threat to Bermuda. Let's actually take a look to some of those models here, see what I'm talking about here. Here's the CMC model here. And you can see here, generally most of the members keep it away from the United States. Bermuda looks to be right there. You can see here where the center pretty much takes it is pretty much almost a direct hit over Bermuda. That'd be something to really watch there. If we look at the GFS, kind of similar. I think this is a little bit more realistic here with the highs about moderate to high amounts of wind shear with this here. So we're going to have to keep an eye on it very closely here. And keep in mind, I probably won't really follow the Canadian model because it really did terrible on the last one, which I honestly forgot what that was named. So yeah, it's not looking good for the Canadian model. It's also a little bit more stronger as well. You can see here, tropical depression 11, not really looking at organized at this point here. So maybe the intensification may slow down and maybe be weaker. So, but let's hope that's going to be the case. So, let's go back here. Let's move to the Eastern Pacific here. And the reason why that the Eastern Pacific is so active right now is the MJO. So, with the MJO current status here, it's not going to let much of any tropical systems develop in the Atlantic. That's why it's pretty mostly quiet at this point here. It's not really going to make storms really develop. Much of everything it's like suppressing thunderstorms. However, when you go to the Eastern Pacific, it's not really suppressing thunderstorms, so it's letting thunderstorms develop, and that's when you start to get some tropical systems to develop. So that's why it's very busy. And El Dela is expected to die down. It probably will die out somewhere in the Pacific. It's now a tropical storm with 65-mile-per-hour winds. This one here, the percentage has been upgraded to a 90% on this disturbance here. Now, this potential hurricane here also has an upgrade to 60%. I think that has the potential for a hurricane as well. This one here, I think it's more of a tropical storm. It also has a high chance of 90%. This one here also has a low end 30% chance for developing. So, but I think in general, I think most of these, disturbances here probably has a decent chance of developing here. And the waters are pretty warm at this point here, and we can see more systems develop. But let's look into the European model at this point here. So that's El Dela right there. Believe that is disturbance number 4. Let's move that there. Believe that's disturbance number 4, or actually that may be disturbance number 1. I think that's it right there. You can see here how Adela pretty much dies out. This here is pretty much a tropical depression. This one here is starting to become a tropical depression, which that may be. It's actually kind of hard to tell. Really is. Um, Seems like very disorganized system right there. If I kind of continue on here, here comes a new system here developing just off the coast of, Mexico, at least the several portions. And this is sustained winds. You can see here how it starts to gain quite a bit of intensity. That's a tropical storm. You can see here it still gains some intensity here, and at that point, that's a hurricane with a little over 70-mile-per-hour winds. And if we look into the GFS here, it's actually trended towards the European model, which is not good news for Mexico as of right now. So that's not good. You see how the GFS brings it in the European model does take it pretty much a similar track. So that probably has a better chance of becoming a hurricane, which I think it's this one right here that has a better chance of becoming a hurricane. This one here I think could be seen as more of a tropical storm, and I think this one here will as well. And I think they may be probably seen as a tropical depression as well. So really, generally, these two here I think would be more of a tropical storm. This one here probably could be more of a tropical depression. And this one here, I believe, has a better chance of becoming a hurricane at some point in the next 5 days or so. And I know this has been, a very short update, but really, generally, even though the Eastern Pacific is very busy, it doesn't really have to have threat to really any land, except for this one right here, which that'd be the one to watch here for Mexico. And really, only one storm system in the Atlantic. That's Tropical Depression 11. But I may get an update on this at some point tomorrow, or maybe not. It could be a different video, but we'll see. But anyways, guys, this is all for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy this little bit tropical update. If you guys did like this update, hit the like button. If you really do like my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. If you guys have questions about this, you can put in the comment section down below. I will answer you guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.